Hello, my name is Latrice and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a CRM portal using Notion. So first you want to open up your Notion account and select the plus arrow on the side in the side menu and select add to template and select empty page. And then after that we're going to name that empty page client CRM and portal. This is going to act as your home page. Right below that, we're going to type /database full page, and we're going to name this one the client overview section. Then click on the three little dots beside the new button and select gallery view. We're going to change it to gallery view and also select fit image. Next, click on the arrow beside the new button and select new template, and we're going to add the following properties. Now all of these can be text fields because we're going to change them later on in the process. So you want to name them client name, projects, start date, due date, interactions, service types, deliverables, and status. Now we're going to scroll to the bottom of this page and type /database inline, and we're going to name this strategy called worksheet. Now this is optional, but this is a CRM that I built for my business, so it has been helpful for me. So after you type that, you want to name the following columns question and answers, and both of these are going to be text fields, and then the last column is going to be summary, and that one is going to be a formula field. After you do that, you're going to enter the following formula, and I will have this inside of my blog post where you can just copy and paste it inside of the cell, because you want to be sure that it looks exactly like this, because if not, the formula will not work. We're going to go back out and select the arrow button beside new and click on new page and set as default for all views. And the reason why you want to do this is because you can ensure that every time you click new page, that it will formulate the page with the strategy called worksheet at the bottom. Now I recommend doing this step. I'm going to give this page a name. This is going to act as the business name, and then I'm going to also type in a name in the client field. That way, as going through the process, you will see how it comes together, and it helps you ensure that everything is working properly. Now we're going to go back to the home page and we're going to type /database full page, and we're going to name this one projects. Now we're going to open up a new page and add the following properties. So the first one is going to be business name, And for this one, you're going to scroll down and select relations, and you're going to select your client overview section and hit add relation. Now for the next property, this one will be a roll up. So you want to scroll down and select roll up, and you want your relation to be the client overview section. After you select that, go back up to the first property that we created and click on the page name that we created in the client overview section, and then that is going to populate into the roll up section. So I'm going to change the name for this one to client name, and then after that, going to move that back to the bottom and rename the client overview section business name. For the next property, this one will be start date. You want it to be a date property, and then you want to do end date, and you want that to be a date property as well. I'm sorry, that should be due date. Name it due date, and that's going to be a date property. And then we're going to add our next property, which will be a select property, and we're going to add the following options: kickstart, audit, and full bill. These are just the name of the services that I offer, but please feel free to customize it to your business. The next property will be a multi-select property, and this one will be named deliverables, and the options for mine will be slides, workbooks, uploads, templates, and full course. But again, please customize it for your business. Now the next property that we add is going to be a status property. Well, right here I'm renaming the select property to service type. That way I know what it is. And then right here we're going to add our next property, which is going to be a status property, and this is going to remain named status. And I'm going to change the options below it to new, planning, in progress, completed, canceled, and archive. And then for the final property on this page, it'll be a text property, and it's going to be for notes. And this property is completely optional. Now, I do recommend filling these in to ensure that everything populates the way that you want to as we move along through the process. Now we're going to go back out to the main page for the projects, and we are going to duplicate this view. But before we do that, we're going to rename the table to all projects. Then we will duplicate this view and rename it to open projects. After you rename it, we're going to duplicate it one more time and rename this one to past projects. Now we're going to go back to open projects, and we're going to click on the three little dots beside the new button and select properties. Open this up and click on all of the properties that you want to show on this page. I'm also going to change the layout view to board view, and I'm going to color my columns, and then again go back to the properties and select the properties that you want to show on this page. So next we'll go back by clicking on the arrow and select filter, and after you select that, you want to select status. Then click on status and select all of the options that you want to show on this page, and then click save for everyone. Then we'll go back out using the arrows and click select group, and you want to ensure that it's grouped by status, and again select the properties that you want to show on this page. Now we'll move on to past projects, and we're going to go through the same process. You can change the view if you want to and color the columns. Then we're going to go back out and select filter, add filter, select status, select the properties that you want to show on this page, and after you select those, be sure to click save for everyone. Go back out and go to group, make sure it's grouped by status. You can hide the empty groups if you want to, color the columns if you want to, and then select the properties that you want to show on this page. Now we're going to go back to the main dashboard or home page, and we're going to type /database full page. And we're going to be naming this one interactions. So after you do that, we're going to open up a new page so that we can begin to add our properties. For the first property, we're going to work backwards, and we're going to add the relation first. It works easier if you do this way. So scroll down and select relations, and we're going to select projects for this relation and hit add to relation. And we're going to go ahead and select the project that we want to show up on this page, and I created that in the previous one under the project section. So I'm going to click on website design, and we're going to scroll down and select the roll up property, and we're going to rename this one business name. And then for the relations, we're going to select projects, and for target property, we will be selecting business name. For the next property, this will be a select property, and I'm going to rename this one type. And for the options, I'm going to add strategy, email, follow-up, and call. Then for the next property, this one will be a date property, and you can leave that as is or you can rename it. And then I'm going to add one last column, one last property here, which would be my summary property, and this one will be a text property. After I do that, I'm going to go through and fill in all the information for this page except for the summary portion. And I'm also going to give it a name so that I'll be able to find it in the next step. Now we're going to go back to our home page and we are going to click on the client overview section. We're going to click on the page that we created in the beginning, and now we're going to go back and redo our properties that we created. So to edit the property, you just simply click on it and select edit property, and we are going to change this one to a relation property and relate it to projects, and then hit add relation. As you do that, you click on that page to ensure that it works properly. And then for the start date, we're going to edit this property, and this is going to be a roll-up property. So scroll down, select roll-up, and for the relation, it's going to be for projects. The target is going to be the start date, and that's going to automatically populate. We're going to do the same steps for the due date. It's going to be roll-up relation to projects, and I'm going to hit due date for that one, and it should automatically populate. For interactions, we're going to select it. It's going to be a relation property, so you want to select relations, and for the property you want it to be interactions, and you select the interaction that you created in the previous step. For the surface property, we're going to edit it, and this one is going to be a roll-up property, and we're going to select the relation for projects, and then we're going to select service type, and that should automatically populate. Then we're going to move on to the deliverables property, and this one will be a roll-up property as well. So you scroll down, select roll-up, and for the relation, we want it to be for projects. After you select projects, select your target property, which would be deliverables, and that should automatically populate. And then lastly, for status, edit this property. This one should be a roll-up property as well. For your relation, you want to select projects and you want to select status, and that should automatically populate for you. All right, so after that, we're going to go back out to the home page, and we're going to type /database full page, and we're going to name this one task database. After you name your database, you want to open up a new page and add your properties. For the first property, I'm going to add a status property. And for my options, I'm going to rename them to new, in progress, done, canceled, and archive. For my next property, this is going to be a relation property, and I want to relate it to projects. I'm going to hit add relation, and I'm going to change it to project name. I'm going to select the project that I want to work on for this particular page, and then we're going to move on to adding another property. This property will be a roll-up property, and we're going to change the name to due date. For the relation, we want to select project name, and for the target property, we want to select due date. For the next property, you want to scroll down and select relation. This will be a relation property. After you select that, we want to relate it to interactions and add that relation, and click on strategy call or whatever the page was that you created in your interactions. And then we want to add another property, and this one will be a roll-up property. In the relation for this one, well, first we want to rename it to interaction summary, and then a relation for this one will be interactions, and you want to select summary. So right here, I'm just going back and typing in something in the summary field to ensure that it populates on my task page that we just created. So now you want to go back to that page, and you want to rename the table to all tasks. Then we're going to duplicate this view, and we're going to name this one ongoing task. Then after you name it, we're going to scroll down to filter and filter by status. Select the status button and select all of the properties that you want to show for this one. So for my ongoing one, it will obviously be the ones that says in progress or new, save for everyone. And then you want to go back out and group it by status and select all of the properties that you want to show for this view. Now right here, I'm going back and changing the layout, and you can keep this layout however you want it to be for the CRM that you create. And then if you change the layout, you have to go back to group status and make sure that you select the properties that you want to show on this page. Then I'm going to duplicate this view and change this one to completed. Then I'm going to go back out and go to filter and change this to completed and deselect the other ones from the first view. And then I'm going to uncheck archive and cancel as well. Make sure you select save for everyone, and then I will go back to group, make sure it's grouped by status, and select the properties that I want to show on this page. Then we're going to go back and duplicate this view, name it canceled and archive, and go through the same steps. Filter it to ensure that it shows the ones that are canceled or archived, and then make sure that it's grouped by status and select the properties that you want to show on this page. And now your CRM is complete. And right here, I'm just going to go through and type /callout block, and I'm going to type instructions here. These instructions will be for my clients that download this template. And then below that, I'm going to create a menu. Again, type /callout block, and you can color it. And for my menu, I'm going to type in the names that I want to be, and then I'm going to highlight the name and link it to the page that I want it to go to. This template is available in my template vault. You can follow the link in the description below, and it'll take you to my template vault, and you can purchase this template and duplicate it into your workspace if this was too many steps for you. But if you want to play around and learn how to use Notion, I hope that this template was very helpful for you, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.